I hope that you're seeing this live because we have got some breaking news. Now, I'm going to read this tweet that came out from Brad Garlinghouse. Just listen to this because this is massive news for this ecosystem. Brad Garlinghouse, and he did this just 23 minutes ago. And of course, I had my morning coffee chat up there. This news wasn't available. Huge news. Ripple just received conditional approval from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency to charter Ripple National Trust Bank. This is a massive step forward. First for RLUSD, setting the highest standard for stablecoin compliance with both federal OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, and state New York NDYS oversight. To the banking lobbyists, listen to what he says here. Boy, oh boy, did he ever take him up. Your anti competitive tactics are transparent. You've complained that crypto isn't playing by the same rules, but here's the crypto industries directly under the OCC supervision and standards, prioritizing compliance, trust, and innovation to the benefit of consumers. What are you so afraid of? Absolutely bang on. Guys, look, we have just watched another major, massive domino fall. I mean, we have talked about the dominoes in this space, right? Of course, we got the regulatory clarity dominoes, the ETFs, we got all these SPACs, Ripple's out there. They just get conditional approval, to become a national bank. Guys, how are you not connecting the dots? This is going to be absolutely stupendous. And these big boys out here, like Larry Fink and all the rest, talking about the tokenization of everything. I mean, are you reading the proverbial handwriting on the very wall? It is coming, and it is coming so fast. This is massive news. And, I wish I had the news before I did my coffee chat because you can just imagine, wow. And of course, what are we watching? Well, initially XRP, Bitcoin and XRP, the whole market down. XRP just dipped down to a buck 98 and all that. Does that scare me? Does that scare Judy? Are you scared? Come on, guys, with what we're witnessing literally happening right before our very eyes. I'll tell you what, if anything, I am more bullish than I have ever been. Absolutely. This is just a setup like you can't even imagine. I think XRP, guys, by the way, probably one of the single greatest underappreciated assets in any asset class for any market when you consider the fundamentals that are behind it and where this whole wide world is going with its financial infrastructure. And you're talking about Ripple, who is literally sitting on what, 37 billion XRP. Come on, they have as vested interest as anybody ever does. And a lot of people say, well, this is just for Ripple and RLUSD. It's not going to affect. Come on, it is definitely going to affect this XRP ecosystem. And I was actually there sitting literally maybe about 10 feet away from Brad Garlinghouse. And I've talked to Brad Garlinghouse, by the way, personally, and, face to face kind of deal. And the thing is, he was right there saying if anybody thinks that Ripple is substituting, RLUSD for like XRP for RL or vice versa, whatever, that they're going to ditch XRP, they've lost the plot. Guys, the fact is, this is nothing but an absolutely amazing, monumental shift in the way the world is going to work. If Ripple's got a national charter for a bank, a trust bank, where it's going to give them access to all of these major, Federal Reserve perks that a lot of these banks get, and to custody, institutional, and transfer the value of that, the trust level, boom, just rocking it off. And for you and I to be so early in this space, I mean, I know it doesn't feel like you're early because, yeah, some people in the bull run that we got in, Judy and I picking up XRP, the cheapest we ever paid, 11, 12 cents, but the majority of it was 17 to 19. But remember, in our run, people were getting it for under 1 penny, from the run before, in the run before the one we had. And of course, we thought we were late. Yeah, okay, people are paying like, $2 plus to get their XRP now. And you're probably thinking, wow, I wish I was back there in that 2020 run. Maybe I'm too late. I'm going to tell you guys, you are nowhere near too late. The average person, I was mentioning this in my coffee chat today, this morning. The to get to the top 10% of XRP holders, you only need about 2,300 XRP. Did you hear that? There is so few people that are really clued in, but when this thing fires off, it is going to literally melt faces. They're going to cry that they did not actually, jump on the bandwagon when they had the chance. When you see XRP at three figures, come on, guys, are you going to really weep over the fact that, oh, you bought it at a little bit more than $2 and you're kind of in the, you're kind of in the red right now and stuff like that? Are you going to think that? No, of course you're not. And that's where you got to know what you hold, right? And boy, oh boy, did this news really hit. Now, I don't know what all the conditions are for the conditional approval, but the fact is, I think this is leading for a full-fledged, hardcore, right-on approval for them to get this banking, to set this whole deal up. 2026, 2027, 2028. Wow, is it gearing up to be something big? And by the way, a lot of people, Judy and I don't believe in that whole 4-year cycle theory business. And you know why? In our run, the bulk of that move happened in April. Those guys were calling for a December, right? We could very well be in probably the very first super cycle for this space that it has ever seen. Why? Major adoption, guys. That's why we're literally watching everything that we talked about, all the things that we were projecting, all the things that we were saying. It's here now. We were saying back then the lawsuit is going to get settled in XRP's favor. Now, I thought that right from day one. It was 2 years before I even started doing a YouTube channel. And the thing is this, the reason I believed it is after investigating all that. And I thought, how on earth would XRP in and of itself be designated as a security? That would be like taking the oranges in the Howey test and making them securities, and every grocery store in America would have had to register with the SEC to sell the oranges, right? Certainly the contracts, but not the commodity. And so we were proven right in that. And every friggin' thing we were proven right. All the fuss are saying, nope, 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 nope. All were wrong, weren't they? And how many people did not get out there and take a position in XRP during that time and missed out on just amazing gains? We were proven right about the ETFs, weren't we? That they were coming. Oh, no one's going to have any ETFs. Brad Garlinghouse literally sitting out there and saying, listen, we're probably not only going to see XRP ETFs, we're going to see ETFs that will hold baskets of these digital assets. Did that not come to pass? Yes, it did. And here we are now. What are we talking about? The tokenization of the equities markets. Do you know how many people are like, oh, come on, that's never going to happen, blah, blah. I'm telling you what, when they say this stuff, guys, they mean it. They mean it. Ripple out there getting a banking license, and how many of these major banks were really trying to implore the OCC to not give it to them? Well, they got it. They got it, don't they? And that's the fact. Every single time these fuzzers have gotten out there and tried to dissuade you and I from our conviction into XRP, they have been proven wrong each and every time. How long is it going to take before that penny drops, right? And people start to realize, look, there's something up. And they're going for it. And it's going to change the way the world works. I mean, come on. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. Now, of course, I'm encouraging you to get out there and to research that for yourself, because I'll tell you, these guys, if you're going to believe the mainstream out there, do you think they're going to tell you what's happening like this? But I can show you there are places you can go to find this information out, guys. It is not like, it's buried. Yes, it's difficult, but if you do the research, you can get the information and you can find it out for yourself. Where do you think we're getting our conviction? You think we're just pulling it out of our hat over here? No, we're not. We have researched it. Now, my job, by the way, when I was working with the government, I was a resource officer, complex case officer for multiple years. And I would interpret legislation for the Crown, the government over there. And I would do all kinds of research and everything like that, analytical thinking. One of my top competencies, got the most highest rating for competency in analytical thinking. And I, for years was employing those skills for the benefit of my employer. Well, now I'm doing it for me, guys. I'll tell you right now. And I'll tell you, the information that I've been able to find and to see and to be able to analyze and employ and to kind of project of what I believe is coming and why I believe it. Boy, oh boy, has that ever changed the fortunes for Judy and I. And look, back then in 13 short months, I mean that small window of time, 24, almost 25 years of service with the federal government there at a very senior level. And think about this, what we gained in 13 months in this space put our pensions to shame. I kid you not. I want you to make it. Boy, oh boy, Judy and I, we want you to make it. Every single one of you guys, we love you so much. The fact that you're here and the fact that you've stayed on this train, I congratulate you. I really do, because I know it has taken a lot of steeled nerves and gumption like you we would not believe, hasn't it? You know, to be able to hang hold on, believe in the face of all this nonsense and opposition like crazy. Oh my gosh, too much of it. But the fact is, they're out there. And think about this. These guys are out there attacking XRP all the time, right? They're out there attacking XRP all the time. Why would they expend such effort? And by the way, the cost associated with doing it in time and money and resources and all that, if it was just a big nothing burger. Come on, come on, come on. You know it scares the living dickens out of them, doesn't it? That's why. And that's why Brad Garlinghouse said that. What are you so afraid of? Well, guys, what they're afraid of is they just haven't bought their ticket on the train and they don't hold enough seats yet. That's what they're really afraid of. They're not afraid of the change. They want the change. Come on. They just didn't get themselves positioned early enough to be the biggest benefactors of the change. But oh boy, did some of you and I do it. And that's what they're most afraid of, guys. They don't want to lose their position as the puppet masters pulling all the strings. That's the biggest deal. Ripple is going to unseat so many of them. Get this, a $40 billion unicorn. Right there. $40 billion unicorn has not even IPO'd, and it gets that banking charter. Can you imagine what that will do to the private equity market for Ripple? In my mind, it is going to be absolutely monumental. And guys, I wanted to get out there and share this live stream because this is phenomenal, phenomenal news. And I would just say, take some time today, go research it all for yourself and see what's coming because, guys, it's going to revolutionize the way the world works. I want you to be a part of that. I want you to be a part of that. And by the way, you've heard me talk about my coaching, and I've got a few spots open next week, and then the rest of the month we're on holidays and things like that. But I'll tell you, we have helped so many people to get across and get that strategic thinking in there and show them exactly how and where to look and all that kind of stuff. If that interests you and you want to get it, be a part of that, you just go to thedigitaloutlook.com and you can sign yourself up there. And but after that, look, things are changing. And Judy and I, when this whole thing blows off to the moon, we are not going to be out there. And our time is going to be, and the very same thing that we would are going to be doing, we would encourage you to do. You got to take care of your own ship, don't you? And you got to get to see those goals achieved. That's right there. So guys, want to just get out there and share this live with you. Love you so much. This is amazing, amazing, absolutely fantastic and a positive news, and cannot wait, by the way, to have you in our mastermind tonight where we're going to be talking about this and a whole bunch of other stuff. So guys, links down there in the description. Anyhow, really love you. Glad to get out and share this absolutely amazing positive breaking news, that's for sure. So guys, take care and we'll talk to you later.